Welcome back, folks, and a yo-ho to you all, me hearties! For when last we left off, we were about to face off against the scourge of all pirates everywhere, Garry. Is he really the scourge of all pirates? Oh, that he is! There's a whole extra section of the pirate code devoted to all the ways that Garry is the scourge of all pirates. Where is that in the pirate code? Oh, just look at the very back there. These pages seem to be bound by a magic spell. Aye, that they be. No person can look upon the pages of why Garry is the scourge of all pirate kind, and not themselves be defeated by Garry. So powerful that he is. In fact, he's so powerful that he actually rendered your last recording completely unrecoverable, did he not? Yes, better talk about that. As you can see, we need a new ice cream monk. No idea what happened, but the recording process for the last video made something completely unrecoverable, as I previously stated there. There's no way at all to salvage what came out, so we did lose 2 Dungeoneers. We lost a bruiser, and then we lost another, we lost the ice cream monk. And I've renamed the bruiser into the previous name that the Dungeoneer before came as, but we did gain a lot of money by doing so. The bruiser, in fact, earned a small pot of like nearly 140 gold in the process of losing. It does mean that I know sort of what to expect when facing Garry, but let's go and face Garry anyway, because Garry is a difficult foe, and maybe this time the video will come out in a much more salvageable way. Aye, maybe Garry will not turn his gaze upon it. Maybe so. Let's go! The main difficulty about fighting Garry is that Garry has a lot of health. Garry has 14 health. Okay, that does it. I don't usually hurt the beautiful creatures of this land, but in your case I'll make an exception. As soon as I finish my homemade power bars, you are toast! And he is not wrong. He's going to attack in 9 turns, and he has 14 health, Monk 3, Feral 5, Snowman 4, Stupidity 3, and Alpine 5. Now, a Stupidity 3 card is a curious choice there, but the Alpine 5 has some horrendously powerful cards in it. The card that I'm thinking of most of all here is that there is a card that deals 2 magic and 2 physical damage, and that is a horrendously powerful card. Also, right now, we don't want to fight that formidable Snowman, even though that Snowman is guarding a really good treasure chest, a level 3 treasure chest. What we want to get right now is a lot of block all cards here, as many of them as we possibly can. The Bruiser doesn't have many of those. The Ice Cream Monk does have 1, but at the moment what we want to do is we want to make sure that we just get as many levels as possible, and as many Runes of Favor as we possibly can, because the Runes of Favor are going to turn this fight to our benefit. For whenever we see a card against Garry that we don't like, we can just force him to discard it. There aren't many Bruiser cards right now that we don't want to have. Fortunately, we were able to win this fight, although it was very close. The first fights are always the closest. Alright, what do we have? That's a good item. That's not a good item. That is a terrible item. We'll take the hand axe, shall we? It's not terrible. And there's 1 Rune of Favor. We want a lot of those. We're going to put down anything we can that will... Okay, we don't want to fight a cube there, but we're going to have to try. It's better than not fighting anything. The cubes have the Frail trait, which is a really good one if you have lots of physical cards, but they also have a lot of magic cards. But we can block some of that damage and level the playing field just a little. The main reason we're going to be good here is the fact that we have a lot of damage from Frail and the Warrior Spirit there, which will let us deal 4 points of damage right from the get-go. The downside, of course, now is that we need to deal 1 point of damage, while the cube there has the ability to deal an awful lot. But fortunately, we were just victorious, and I mean just. Excellent! Level 3. That's a good item. That's a really good item, actually. That's a really good item. We're going to take the Snowman head. There we go. We have half of the regalia of the Snowman. And it looks like Garry is really enjoying his power bars there. We don't want to go this way, we want to go this way, I think. Let's fight against a dishonourable Snowman, because the commendable one is dangerous and the profitable one is very dangerous in terms of our the wealth that we can gain. Is this a good fountain? It is! We'll hold on to that fountain. We might want to try and get there for the final fight with Garry. Alright, what have we got? That's okay, we can deal with that. Also, I really want the other piece of the Snowman armor now. Alright, that's not so bad. We can deal with that. We don't want our hand frozen. And that we could also potentially deal with. But actually, I'm going to save negating all of the damage in return for dealing more damage back now. Also, he's going to steal one of our cards regardless. So I'm actually going to use that now so that he doesn't steal that card. He most likely would have stolen it. And that's the problem. That's why I decided to use it. There was a very high chance. I only have a magic defense card here, so that one is actually worth using. Let's hope he doesn't deal 2 points of damage now. Oh dear. Yeah, it was a gamble. He most certainly would have used the, stole my defensive card. Blast.
Which animal would be a dungeoneer? A cunning fox? An agile deer? Or a fearsome beast for a foe's condemning? But alas, this dungeoneers. A lemming?
We'll rename the Ice Cream Monk to be the same name as before. Unfortunately, we don't have the really good battle scar which Jaina had, which was the ability to start with the Arcane 1 card. But this is going to be a particularly tricky foe. Fortunately, we're pretty close to being able to afford a Tier 2 Dungeoneer, and those cards are pretty good. Right, let's try this again, shall we? We'll put this enemy there this time, and put that there, and we'll put this here. There we go. That's a lot of runes already. I know we're ignoring Garry here, but Garry will say the same thing every single time. Alright, let's see what we can do, shall we? We'll just heal up some damage, and that's not bad. That's a little better, though. That's 3 points of damage, and the Snowman only dealt 2. There we go. I do believe that is victory. The way of the scoop is really powerful. It almost makes me wary not to equip a item in that slot. Could equip that, could equip this, but I think the sooner we equip an item, the better, because we really want to get some items. Alright, that is a really difficult... Wow! Do we want runes? I think we do! Wow, indeed, that is an awful lot of runes. Unfortunately, we can't really get that one right now. Yeah, we can't get that one until we actually fight something. There we go! We can start fighting enemies right... Wow! Do we want runes? I think we want runes! Yeah, that's a lot of runes. And we're gonna hopefully get all of them. Absolutely all of them. Alright, first thing we're gonna do is deal some damage. Not a lot of damage because the way of the scoop is gone, but that's okay. Alright, we discard a card if we get hit, and I'm not surprised we discarded that one. It's not that we really needed that one though, because we don't need Way of the Scoop to be victorious here. Aha! Alright, what do we get? That's actually arguably better than the axe. But that's also pretty good. That's not good. That's actually a really good card. Yeah, we're gonna swap it out. I know we just basically swap one item for another, but the crossbow is really good. Alright, we want to put a, I want to put something over here. How about this foe here? Ah, hang on. Do we want that one? Alpine 3 is it's got a nasty card, Alpine 3. But the alternatives are worse, so we'll put that enemy there. Also, you're going to explore an unexplored area over going into, that's kind of a problem. You're going to explore areas you haven't been to over areas that you have. So we'll fight this cube here. We're going to get all of these favor runes if we can. We do need at least 3. We need a lot more than 3 though. Alright, that's a good card to use right now. The Frail gives us a bonus point of damage and we negate everything. Excellent. And now I wish I'd saved it up till here, but that's okay, we can use this one here. And deal even more damage. Alright, what have we got? What have we got? We have the ability to negate all that damage, but there isn't much of all that damage to negate. Alright, we can't negate any damage here, so we might as well just kill the opponent instead. I don't even know why I was even looking at negating damage. Alright, what have we got? That's a good item. That's also a pretty good item. That's exactly the same as the spear. So do we want health, or do we want... That's just better. Why would we want the hat when we can have the armor there? Yep, that's just much better. Alright. Dishonorable Snowman we could deal with? We could deal with that. I think we can. Let's go. The more of these runes we get, the better. We can use them all against Garry. Alright, we do need another item in our hand, though. Right now, I think dealing damage is important. We'll get those cards back later. Alright. Ooh. That's really bad. I think we want Restore here. Yes, we'll be confused, but that's okay. We know that, we really want to use this card, actually. Because we don't want to try and defend against any damage here. There we go. Much better. And it's not like we can defend against any of the damage anyway. There's a lot of unblockable cards in the Snowman deck. There we go. Do we want this? I think we do. Rekindle is a really good card. We really want the, ooh, that's not good. Steal a card? Well, we might as well draw a card. We are taking a lot of damage, though. I don't like that. However, you're not going to block any damage whatsoever, which is pretty good. And there's that card that he stole. That's alright, though. We'll get it back once we defeat him. I don't know how that works. Do we literally just take the card off the Snowman's corpse, or is it more of an idea that he just copied our ability and we forgot the ability to use it? Ooh, that's good. That's also pretty good. And that is an item... Ooh. Gain 1 favor with the Fates if you do +3 damage. That's an offhand item. That's really good. You know what? That's really good. We'll take that. And we get an extra favor. Alright. We could fight another cube here, which will bring us that way. And then we have 3 turns. Then we go 3, 2... Actually, it's better to go back here, and then put, say, another fate thing there, and a gem this way. Uh-oh. That was actually a really poor idea, because now we've missed that one. Oh, blast. Oh, well. If we just put an enemy here, I'm sure that will, help out. That extra, favour might have been useful, but now we don't have the option to get it. And also, I'm not fighting that formidable Snowman. I've had enough bad experiences with them to last an entire playthrough. Let's start, getting some cards, shall we? Need to be a little bit careful with the respectable Snowman. There's some nasty cards that he has available. Also, I don't actually mind if you, freeze my hand here. I'm going to heal away the damage you deal anyway. Yeah, not really worried about that 1 point of damage. I'm a little more worried about one particular card that's going to appear. It's a very nasty one. Yeah, we'll keep that. Why not? Alright, it's not that card though. Not worried about that one at all. We're just going to slowly start dealing some damage. We do have a lot of health here. And that's also not a great card to see, but we can again heal some damage. We need a helmet. That's what we need right now. We need a helmet. We currently do not have access to a helmet. A helmet here would really, really help. What do I want to do? I think I just want to defeat you. There we go. Marvellous. Helmet? There is not a helmet here. We lose a lot by having that. We lose a lot by having that. And that's all just rubbish. That's really rubbish. Well, we might as well just defeat this opponent here and then go and fight Garry. I'm not sure we're ready. We don't have a helmet. Let's see. Right. What do we want to do? We just want more cards. That's what we want. If we deal more than 3 points of damage, we will get, Ooh. That's quite a nasty card, but you're not going to steal anything anyway. Marvellous. We could just start, blocking damage and drawing cards. That seems like a good idea. We don't have many, things that will... I don't want that at all, actually. We don't have many things that will help us here in terms of dealing with Garry, but we do have the Favour, which is what we're going to be relying on, I think, to defeat Garry. Unless we get... That's a nice card. The problem with Garry is that he has so much health, and all of that health is going to prove to be a huge obstacle for us. Huge! Alright, we don't have a way to block all that. Might as well just deal some damage, I suppose. A little. He's going to steal one of our cards, a rubbish one for some reason. Maybe I was wrong to presume that he would have stolen a really good card before. Maybe he would not have stole my 3 defense card. Maybe. But it was worth, wasn't really worth taking the risk. I think he would have anyway, and I'd rather have kept it. It doesn't matter either way, as we defeated this Snowman. And I'm not going for that treasure chest. Alright, helmet? Still no helmets. That's not a good thing to do. Tenacious is a nice thing to get. That's no good. They're all pretty rubbish. Alright, here comes Garry! That was great. I feel strong as a mountain elk. Indeed he does. And now he's coming to fight us. He really does enjoy those power bars. Alright, that is not a bad card to see at all. Even slightly. We're going to heal here. Don't discard that one? Okay, you discarded that one. That's fine. That's a good card to see, though. He has a few of those. That is the card, however, we want him to discard. You cannot have that card. That card is also kind of rubbish, though. That card is really rubbish, but we'll take it over being dealt 4 points of damage. We've got to save the Favour for the next time he... this one? That's not terrible, I suppose. Do we want to keep this card? We do want to keep that card. He has a lot of really nasty cards, though. That's not the worst card out there, but it's still not great. We deal a damage first, but he deals 2 points of damage, and we draw a card. We need to deal some really nasty attacks now. We could use Restore here, but really I want to keep that card. So we're going to heal off the damage he deals, and try and survive a little... Ooh, that's not good. We're down to 3 health. He still has a very big deck of cards, though. And that will get us down to 2 health, and our deck will be frozen... No, I can't. I can't take that damage. We can discard that card, though. That's probably a mistake. It might very well be a mistake. Alright, 2 points of damage, and now we're down to 1 health. This is why Garry is very nasty. And we are, in fact, dead. Garry is indeed a humongous threat. And we're just going to deal as much damage as we possibly can, because, yeah, we can't do anything against that. Even if we attack first, Garry still kills us. Even with Favour, we still fell. Blast!
A sorry tale, a gory story, another hero dies for glory. In the ground they rest the head. Dead, dead, dead.
There is an advantage to what's just happened, though. The fact that we've lost there, even though I'd have preferred to have won, we now have the ability to get a better Dungeoneer. A much better Dungeoneer. In fact, we could get a Ranger. Do we actually want a Ranger, though, is the question. The Ranger only has the ability to block any 1 damage, although all of the Ranger's physical attacks are quick, which could actually help. However, the Barbarian... No, the Barbarian has no defense. And the Alchemist admittedly gets +1 to healing, but that's really not what we want. The, this might be more what we want, though. The Wild trait. That's a lot of really nice cards. But in the end, I think we want to go with an old favourite here, and get ourselves an Archer.
The guild is looking for a swift kind of guy who wants to be seeking out danger. While fond of poking beasts in the eye, I give to you a Ranger.
Also, I've no idea why it's so difficult now to type in the field for having a new Dungeoneer. It's really hard to do so. It's only a change that's occurred since I've started playing again, but as you can see there, I was really trying to type, but the game just wasn't cooperating in that regard. But that's neither here nor there. We may have lost to Garry, and not only in this recording, but in a previous unrecoverable recording, but we shall be victorious next time, as next time, folks, we shall send a very old Shamino. I'm sure Shamino will be absolutely fine. I'm not sure Shamino will be absolutely fine. We do need to get him some serious defense cards if we're going to have him defeat Garry. I did warn you about Garry, did I not? Not only did he kill adventurers that the people watching couldn't see, but he's also killing adventurers and dungeoneers that they can. What do you mean that they can see? Oh, nothing. Don't mind me. I'm just, talking to the fourth wall. There are only 3 walls in this room. Which fourth wall are you referring to? The floor, of course. It's a kind of wall. A wall to shield us from the dirt. I suppose. Phew, I think I got away with it. Got away with what? Nothing. Nothing. Just, mumbling about the pirate code. Oh, you pirates. Yes, us pirates, eh? Yar. I'll catch you next time, folks. And I'll see you then. Later.